Hello and welcome to my presentation. My name is Amber Marcusic, and today I will be informing you on the challenges that marine ecosystems face and how they can be better managed sustainably. Sustainability threats to marine ecosystems include ocean dumping, land runoff, dredging, ocean acidification, sea level rising, pollution from ships, which include noise, waste, and chemical pollution, oil spills, and the most popular, plastic pollution. I'm going to go over each of these issues separately in order to give you all a general idea of how each of these has impacted marine environments. First and foremost, ocean dumping, by definition, is the deliberate disposal of hazardous waste at sea from vessels, aircrafts, platforms, or other human-made structures. In 2010, a Japanese-owned ship was purposefully sank in the Indian Ocean off the coast of South Africa. This vessel had hit a coral reef on their route from China to Brazil, and they simply abandoned the ship, which released about 1,000 tons of oil into the ocean. The ship eventually split in half by mid-August of that year. The picture inserted here is from that time. Second on our list is land runoff. The main antagonist of this issue is storms, specifically hurricanes. When hurricanes happen, the land clearly has more water on the surface than it could hold, so this extra water runs into rivers and streams. When the rivers and streams become overflowed, it goes to the closest water source, which is usually the ocean. The following image is taken via satellite after Hurricane Irene in Florida in the year 1999. All of that light green and blue isn't supposed to be there off the Sunshine State's coast. The second image is from October of 2002. As you can see, most of that runoff is still there. Potential pollutants within floodwater include nutrients from lawn fertilizers, bacteria from animal and human waste, pesticides from lawn and garden chemicals, metal from rooftops and roadways, as well as petroleum byproducts that may have leaked from vehicles. Next on the list is dredging. The purpose of dredging is supposed to be beneficial for the marine ecosystems. During this process, as you can see by the photo shown here, these vessels remove silt and other materials from the bottom of bodies of water. Unfortunately, it is not as beneficial as we would hope. During the dredging process, the predisposed composition of soil is altered, which leads to the destruction of habitats for many creatures and organisms. This process can also lead to the regrouping of harmful pesticides, which in turn has the potential to harm large bodies of water and its inhabitants. Moving on to ocean acidification. This is the continuing decrease of seawater pH caused by the absorption of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. The ocean alone helps our Earth by absorbing 30% of the carbon dioxide that is in the atmosphere. With this being said, as carbon dioxide levels increase in the atmosphere, so does the amount that the ocean is forced to absorb. Ocean acidification has the most impact on marine species such as oysters and corals, who make hard shells and skeletons by combining calcium and carbonate from seawater. The image shown here is a time-lapse of part of the Great Barrier Reef off Australia's coast from 2006 to 2010 to 2012, followed by 2014. As we all know, global warming has profound effects on our marine ecosystems, one of these being sea level rise. Within the past 2 decades, it has been documented that the sea level has risen 0.13 inches a decade. The image shown here is an example map done by the NOAA that depicts the consequences for coastal communities in the water, off the water, when the water continues to rise. The rise in seawater level means more wetland flooding, destructive erosion, and agricultural land contamination, and more. Although vessel traffic means goods and services being transported from one place to another, this poses many issues for marine ecosystems. Pollution from these ships include noise and waste pollution. I'm also going to mention the depletion of ozone substances in this section as well. Starting off with noise pollution. This can be noises from ships, including everything from engine noise to entertainment on cruise ships. Noise has the potential of traveling great lengths within the ocean. Noise pollution disrupts multiple aspects of marine ecosystems, including diving patterns of marine animals, as well as disrupting communication between marine animals that use echolocation as a source of talking, as well as hunting, and can even be harmful to the internal organs of some marine creatures. The next pollutant mentioned is waste. Ships are responsible for 90% of trade worldwide. With this being said, solid and liquid waste come from these ships in forms of ballast water, gray water, food waste, dunnage and packing material, paper products, and cleaning material and rags, etc. Lastly, ozone depleting substances. Some of these chemicals are methyl chloroform, methyl bromide, and two other harmful chemicals I don't even dare to pronounce. All these chemicals combined destroy the ozone layer and can be harmful to the marine environments, such as ocean acidification that was mentioned previously. Moving on to a more popular subject, oil spills. Today, there are 1,470 oil rigs within our ocean waters worldwide. Most of these being in the Gulf of Mexico that has 213 oil rigs total. The most famous oil spill is arguably the Deepwater Horizon oil spill that occurred on April 20th, 2010, when 130 million gallons of oil spilled into the Gulf of Mexico after an oil rig owned by BP exploded. The spill took 87 days to be tamed. This left many rig workers, fishermen, and marine life in very terrible shape. As you can see from the picture shown, a pelican was still struggling and was covered in oil off the coast of East Grand Terre Island, Louisiana on June 4th, 2010. Last but not least, and definitely the most well-known and most popular issue to marine ecosystems is plastic pollution. It is estimated that around 8 million tons of plastic waste enter our oceans every year. It is also estimated that there are 5.25 trillion individual pieces of plastic floating in our world's oceans, which is equivalent to 268,940 tons. Each year, around 136,000 seals, sea lions, and large whales die from ghost net entanglement. Two examples of this plastic plague is the story of Cuvier beaked whale that was found in the Philippines with 88 pounds of plastic in its belly. The top image shown here is a bag that was pulled from the carcass. The second story is that of a female sperm whale that was discovered dead off Italy with 48 pounds of plastic in her stomach. The bottom image shows some of the plastic that was taken from her belly. Some policies that have been put into place to help regulate these issues are the London Protocol, which was documented in 1996 and was put into action in 2006. This is mainly focused around ocean dumping and vessel pollution. This policy prohibits the dumping of waste and other matter into the oceans. It regulates disposal of waste from land-based mining operations and implementation of marine geoengineering, and also bans exportation of waste to other countries for dumping, as well as the burning of waste at sea. There is also the Clean Water Act that was documented in 1972 but was updated in 2018. This act covers aspects in regards to each of the issues that were mentioned previously. This act helps to regulate the discharges of pollutants into the water of the United States and regulating quality standards for surface waters. The main question here is this enough? Although both of these policies set guidelines and procedures in regards to the threats that are affecting our marine ecosystems, I still feel like there has much to be done. There are different views on issues that the oceans are facing from one place to the other, and in order for issues like these to be regulated, there needs to be international efforts made. Of course, issues like this that affect such a broad range of our Earth's surface are hard to regulate. There are some aspects that can be considered when it comes to handling them. Ethical concepts in general would be beneficial to think about, specifically environmental ethics. This concept studies the moral relationship of human beings to, and also the value and moral status of the environment and its non-human contents. With this being said, keeping in mind environmental ethics is necessary when it comes to how we attempt to regulate the human-made issues that our marine ecosystems face. We as human species are obligated to do what we can to help our marine ecosystems, let alone our Earth in general. Although the majority of the ocean still has yet to be explored, it doesn't mean our marine ecosystems are any less important than our terrestrial ecosystems. As I have mentioned periodically throughout this presentation, the main issues that the ocean face are because of the actions that humans have continuously done throughout the years and needs to be regulated and or controlled before it becomes irreversible. I thank you greatly for listening to my presentation. I hope you learned helpful information today and can carry this information to places where it is needed.